Hey, what's up? Welcome to your reading. Whenever this finds you, see if it lands. So I started with theme cards. I used Theta Wave, Oracle, and Secret Language of Animals Oracle. This one feels fun, honestly. I'm gonna look that up too. Okay, so we have Ask came out and creativity. Underneath Ask was undulation, which I actually want to look up what that word means. I'm trying to use my context clues here from the image. Let me see. Rising and falling in a rhythmic pattern. To move or be shaped with a smooth, continuous wave-like motion. To sway or ripple. That makes me think of, my hunch was something like cyclical. In the picture, there's the escalator. And then from the Secret Language of Animals, we have the Golden Orb Spider, which is actually the fire element in this deck. And then we have the Eagle, which is obviously air. I think. I'm pretty sure it's air. But yeah, it's air. With the spider, the keywords are messenger, balance, awareness, and design. This connecting to creativity and asking feels a lot like creating the life that you want, or honing in on your desires and your goals. I'm also, with the Eagle, it says vision, freedom, authority, and inspiration. Something about, I didn't read about the Eagle, but there's something about it being in like a very skilled hunter and predator, and it targeting its prey with this very narrowed focus, but also an awareness of its surroundings too. So focus seems to be another keyword here. There may be even a creative goal that you're chasing, and there's a need to zero in on the goal itself and not get distracted by comments or opinions or other things. Like there's the phrase productive procrastination comes to mind, where there's this pull or call to do whatever you're practicing in, but instead you go do laundry, which isn't a bad thing, but it seems like the easier choice instead of going and doing your work, your creative work. There's an eye here. Another emphasis on vision and perspective too, which reminds me of something that came up when the cards came out, was asking the right questions, asking yourself the right questions that lead you to creating a plan for this goal or for this life that you want. Maybe even seeking out someone who can educate you in a way where you do discover the questions that you should be asking, because it's almost like there could be an area of this where you don't know what you don't know. So there's a need for maybe a small perspective shift and like thinking outside of the box with whatever you're trying to do. It could even be as small as a problem. And undulating makes me think of when it was mentioning like waves, it reminded me of the valleys and the peaks of a mountain range. And maybe there could be parts of this journey or parts of building where you feel very active and full of ideas, and there could be other parts that are more slow and restful and maybe more iterative. I think that's a word, where you're iterating an idea. So tapping into what your productivity energy levels are. I feel like I'm making up words sometimes. That's funny. There's a lot of words here and images of what you're looking at. Focus. There's awareness here. And that's also interesting too. So there's vision with the eagle, and from the picture, it looks like the eagle is standing on like a really high vantage point to get a view of the land, so it could see where its prey is. And then with spiders, they have 8 eyes. So there's something here with like like a clarity of vision, clarifying your vision. That could be something, a clue to what questions you need to be asking yourself or what you need to know. Yeah, clarity of vision, focus, narrow focus. What is it? Tunnel vision. Tunnel vision was the word I was looking for earlier. Giving yourself grace with your energy levels. And that could be another clue too, is once you figure out what your energy levels are and kind of how, when you feel creative, when you have a mental block, and it could be sporadic too, setting up systems for those days that you have a mental block. Maybe there's an activity that you can do to help you move through it. Yeah, something about the escalator, it's transporting you in a very consistent, straightforward way from one place to another. So there could be, there's a system to the escalator. There's mechanics, there's a way that it moves, so it helps things continue on. There's a reason within its system that it's able to continuously move. There's like a, what do they call it? Not a ramp. I don't know. That doesn't really matter. But the system that holds the inevitable waves of maybe even procrastination. So taking, again, a system to get you from point A to point B, and maybe it's not a huge jump. Like, for example, this is an easy example, showing up online. Maybe it starts with you recording yourself and not posting it. Or if you're trying to write a novel or a song or something like that, or motivate yourself to go to the gym. Maybe it starts small, especially on those days where you really don't want to, because you're not going to want to do the thing every day. But maybe it takes you finding a way to feed yourself, or feed yourself this practice every day, so that it can become a habit or ingrained in you a lot quicker. Like, that's the best way to do that instead of skipping days. So maybe if they're, I'm trying to focus my mind because there's so many things coming up now. There could be, with the moods also, another question worth asking around this is, what is creating this like wave? Is there a way that we can even out this wave so it's not like high highs and low lows of I'm feeling super creative for a week and then all of a sudden like I'm down and I feel really weird and I don't want to do this anymore, I don't feel like doing it. Some of that could be like a nervous system issue is what I was getting to. Like, I know when I'm procrastinating on something, some of the time it's like I'm having a fear about something. Even with recording too, like I can procrastinate on something and all it takes is me putting on like maybe a little bit of makeup or doing my hair or putting on a cute outfit, and then that'll change my mood really quickly. So it could be, I feel that way about the gym too, that like I love fashion. That was what my degree was in. I grew up watching like What Not to Wear and all these other like makeover shows I was obsessed with. But the thing with that, this is an example, I'm going on a tangent, but it's an example. But what I realize is like intentionally honing in and cultivating your appearance. Some people might even call it glamour magic, but it's intentionally adorning and dressing yourself to trigger a shift in mood. So I know if I look hot in the gym, I'm wearing like a new outfit or something like that, I want to show up so people see. You know, that's a really funny example, but it's little things like that. And I also want to emphasize it might not be something that you have to buy. It's just an action step or a small system or something that you can give yourself to make that bigger action easy, or to make that bigger action turn into smaller steps so it doesn't feel so big, so the mountain doesn't feel so big, so the valley doesn't feel so deep. You have systems in place. Maybe you do a little bit of breath work, or you take a bath before you show up to the canvas. Or I think it was Joan Didion, I could be so wrong, but I'm thinking of this writer that a lot of people talk about. I'm pretty sure it's Joan Didion, where before she, like, her ritual to show up to the page to start writing was a glass of wine. She usually would do it later in the evening because she wasn't disturbed. So something along those lines could be helpful to you. So those are tons of examples. Okay, the star. I was shuffling for a while, but I was also stopping. Okay. Give me some context to what we're... Three of Cups. Yeah, okay, Three of Cups is showing up in reverse here. We have the star upright, which screams like authenticity, vulnerability. This woman is naked. I'm using the traditional tarot. It's just a radiant Rider-Waite, but this woman is I'm kind of covering her face too. This woman is nude, which can be symbolic of vulnerability. She Aquarius could be significant to you, whether you're an Aquarius sun, moon, or rising. But there's a connection to both the earth and the water. So there's a connection to grounding whatever you're being emotionally guided to, and also grounding whatever you're connecting to in your imaginal space, in your mind, in your dreams, and your desires. So there's something here about owning your authentic desires. I don't know why I said that out. Why I said that weird. The Hierophant just fell out. Yeah, it wasn't like I stuttered, but it almost sounded like a hiccup. There's maybe even a hesitancy with saying it out loud, like you're scared to. Oh my god, I just realized my mic was inside out. That's so funny. Never done that before. I hope the audio is okay. There could be something around speaking up for yourself, expressing yourself, your voice, but there's a strong desire to do it, but there's some rustiness, or like I just did earlier, where it was like I was almost scared to say the thing, and you could be hiding this from other people. You do this alone, and it could be so ingrained in you to keep these creative or expressive things to yourself, so much so that sometimes like your procrastination is a manifestation of you hiding that from even yourself. So the Three of Cups in reverse also makes me feel like there might not be a community of people who are doing what you are desiring to do, or you might not feel safe around your community talking about this. The Hierophant came out, so there could be a level of following the rules all the time. You're always you're always doing the right thing, the appropriate thing, the thing that everybody else is doing, but other thing I want to mention with the Three of Cups in reverse too is like, because there's no examples around you of people doing what you want to do or expressing themselves the way that you want to express themselves, it is easier to just fall in line than to be like the weird person, the like outlaw, or the outlier, it might be a better word. But there's something inside you that's really wanting to do that. There's something like, there's a way that this will nourish you being yourself, just being yourself. And so by allowing yourself to slowly do these creative things, to slowly dress a certain way, maybe it starts with earrings that you wear or something like that, allowing yourself to slowly open up to being more yourself. It sounds, I'm trying to put some practicality into what I'm saying, because sometimes when people say things like that, it's like, what does that mean? I don't know what that means. But that goes back to the like first theme card, which is ask, talking to yourself. That's so interesting too. Like, again, with the lack of community, it's like, who do I talk to about this? And right now you might just have yourself, and that's where you start, and that might seem a little bit funny, but we have Four of Cups in reverse here, the Hermit in reverse, Page of Swords in reverse, Lovers. Yeah, so there is a need to, Hermit in reverse feels like there's a lack of alone time. Like, maybe you are very attached to the people who are around you. It almost feels like hometown, childhood friend vibes. And so you spend a lot of your time with these people. This is what I'm depicting. You're spending a lot of time with these same people, and maybe they're consistently who they are, whatever that means, but you aren't really developing your own sense of what your energy feels like, what you like to do. You watch what they watch, you listen to what they listen to, and you're kind of feeling a little bit like bored, might be one word, but just numb in a certain way. It feel numb in a sense of like you're not being engaged deeply. You don't feel like you're being stimulated in the way that you would like to be stimulated. And so there's a need to do some self discovery, go on your own adventures, sign up for different classes that you want to do, and don't worry about if other people don't really want to go with you, like your friends aren't going to be interested in that. You go to those things, and that's where the community may be. So it starts with that. Yeah, I don't know. I'm at 21 minutes, so I'm kind of like stopping myself from talking before the camera cuts off because I don't know how much room I have right now. But yeah, this is like, I don't know, it's fun. I can feel like a little bit of nervousness, like tingling in the air around me. Like, so it could be, again, like you're wanting to do this. It's like you have these things that you want to do saved somewhere, but you haven't like gone and done them yet because you're just like, well, I want somebody to go with me, or I wish somebody would go with me, or something like that. But like, this is your time to experiment. This is your time to throw spaghetti at the wall, see what sticks, what you vibe with, what your energy is like without the interference of being around other people. Um, yeah, and honing in on what you really want. And again, like in life or in career or in the way that you show up in the world, like this, taking this step to also take other smaller steps, it makes you brave, it makes you feel like a badass, it makes you feel like you can trust yourself, it lessens your self-doubt, and it's just all around nourishing. So don't feel like doing this is gonna like be like this. It's not this big deal. You can't mess this up. And like also make it light, you know. And I do want to mention too, like sometimes emotions can come up. You might purge some things as you're doing these things, and yeah, I don't know. I really don't want this to turn off, so I'm gonna end it here. I hope that was helpful and enjoy the journey.